I'm the host of this one again.
Too busy raving away.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tom Shaw. I am the host of the most. I am joined by the OC and J Bell of the Third and Long podcast world. Good evening, gentlemen. How are we all?
Good evening. It's been a fantastic week.
I
made it on time. I made it on time this week.
Yeah, we are honoured to be graced by the presence of you, Mr. Hope.
On time as well.
On time.
No, on time. Not coming in.
I mean, to be fair, you joined us from Alcatraz.
And you are sounding like a Dalek at the moment.
Okay.
You boys have had good wins this week.
Yeah.
It's been a good weekend. I mean, it took overtime for us, but
it's been a good week of football. We are just going to pay tribute.
We should just leave Zimmer out for the whole
getting
show.
Involving comments just to keep it rolling round. Yeah. Yes.
Rest in peace, Demarius Thomas.
Yes.
Yeah, there's been a couple of brilliant.
Did you guys see what the Broncos did to honor him?
Yes, they landed.
There is a video on the group chat, which hopefully Tom will download and add onto the video when we get to their game a bit later on, because that was a class act by all involved. It wasn't just Detroit who did it. Denver did it. Detroit did it. The officials were all involved with it.
And also Detroit then declining the penalty.
Yeah, and the officials already knew about it, so superb.
Yes.
But,
which is good.
I believe there is some videos that I uploaded towards you, Thomas, as well.
There is. I'll get them eventually.
While you're doing that, do you want to talk about your game? Because that's the first game.
Yeah, it was a
frustrating game.
You tried to do a Cleveland, didn't you?
No,
that's going to be. It's going to have to be in Atlanta now, isn't it?
The thing is,
throw away a lead.
This week, there were 4 or 5 games where teams had a lead and tried to throw it away, but then won.
Yeah, there was a lot of blowouts as well this week.
Yeah, so I thought that when we started, first half, I was like, bloody hell, this could be an actual blowout. This could be a shutout. We know we were sacking Ben all over the field. Our defense had the run on the Pittsburgh O-line, and I was thinking, do you know what? Yeah, this could be our chance. We looked like the 2017 Vikings again. We looked confident. Kirk had a good range of plays. Dalvin Cook, I'm going to mention, he had a great game. And considering he
222 scrimmage yards with a couple of touchdowns, rushed for 205.
And considering
Dalvin, didn't he?
Yeah, and considering he had his arm in a sling for most of the game and he wasn't on the field.
Yeah. Just going back to your defense, it just reminded me a bit of Purple People Eaters. That's probably a bit before your time, Tom, but all you'll know what I'm talking about.
I didn't hear you said. All I heard was a bit of there.
You know the Purple People Eaters Minnesota's defense.
Oh God, yeah. It was before. Before the Legion of Doom, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But Harrison Smith looked absolutely deadly.
Yeah, I'm glad he didn't turn up like that against the Niners.
I know, he was just, he just kept on getting the jump on him. And Ben, I know that he's not as fast as he was. I know that he can't get the ball out as fast as he used to be able to, but...
Can't throw as far as he used to.
I don't think...
himself in WD-40 every week.
I don't think it was him who was the problem. I think it was his O-line. They just were non-existent in the first half.
I think Ben is the problem. I just think a poor O-line adds to the problem.
And let's not ignore that with about 2 minutes remaining, if that.
Oh, it was within the last minute.
It was in the last
It was
minute.
within the last minute, wasn't it? And probably they were on the Vikings 20. They had to get a first down on a third down play.
What did he do? It was like that, wasn't it?
Spent 11 seconds celebrating getting a first down.
That is very much a rookie cock-up. Not even an error, a mistake. It is a rookie cock-up, and that's where you get benched.
Yes.
I mean, I feel like Claypool's been getting on his team's nerves since that stupid comment he made in the playoffs last year.
He's a good run. He's a good wideout, but he has that same maturity that someone who's in high school. You know, the same thing that Steve Shooter had a couple of years ago when he decided TikTok dance everywhere.
It's what you do on the franchise.
Do you guys remember the comments he made last year?
No, I don't. Remind us.
So after they lost to the Browns, he basically said, "Oh, it doesn't matter because they're going to get slapped next week."
Oh yeah, well, yeah, that aged well, didn't
it? You don't say that after the Browns have just beaten you 2 weeks in a row.
And the best thing is, there was a taunting penalty. He got called for taunting or unnecessary roughness. I can't remember what he was called for, but he'd been tackled. There's a bit of afters. Chase Claypool could have just walked away, and he decided to get involved. He decided to start pushing and shoving, and I think it was Kendricks who did it, who it was with, and Kendricks was just laughing because he knew exactly what had happened.
Yeah,
and his own players. I think Harris, the rookie, rookie in his first season, dragged him away and pushed him away.
Yeah, and was Harris is an ex-Bama, so he's taught to play properly. I mean, on the plus side,
Tomlin needs to step in because Tomlin's a good coach. So he needs to remind him what it is to be an NFL player at the NFL level and not celebrating for 12 seconds when you've got less than 30 seconds to go and you try and score a touchdown.
On the plus side, TJ Watt's now leading the sack race.
Yeah.
He's
play on 16 sacks now.
He got injured though, didn't he?
Yeah, and Dalvin Cook only needs 22 yards. Dalvin Cook only needs 22 yards to make a 1,000-yard rushing season.
Yeah, if he gets 1,000 yards
rushing game, 3 games this season as well.
3 games he's missed, because of injury.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Shall we move on to the one?
Yeah, the 1 p.m. kickoffs, 6 p.m. kickoffs, whichever you want to call them. I know I've done 2 different things on a thing. I think if it wasn't for Micah Parsons, they would have lost this game.
Micah Parsons was a beast.
So he had 3 tackles, 1 forced fumble, 2 sacks.
There's a bit of a theme this week, wasn't there, of a team going up early and then the other team coming back.
Yeah. Dak he's slumped. Had a massive slump. Ever since that calf injury, he hasn't been the same. And Cowboys are stuttering around. Zeke's not been the same. The first half a dozen games, he was over 100 yards most weeks. And since, the bye, I think it is, he's not even broken 50 yards. I think he broke 50 yards.
In the season, you were talking up Zeke, Ollie.
Because Zeke at the start of the season was brilliant. Zeke was back at the start of the season, and now he's not. So it's Zeke.
We all know how good he is at wrapping presents, but...
I mean, we have got a video of
Micah Parsons now is on... That's
I was really hoping you were going to say we've got the video of Zeke wrapping a present.
We haven't, but we've got a...
I'd just like to take this time while this is loading to give a shout out to Owen and Will. Hi guys.
Hey. I'm going to say something. Did you hear the Dallas fans chant 3 little letters as Micah Parsons was going off at the end of the game?
I did.
Was
They were
that
chanting him
MVP?
Yes.
It was MVP.
For a rookie, I think he's in the shout. I think he could win Rookie of the Year.
I think he'll win Rookie of the Year, yeah.
It's between three, isn't it?
It's between Jamar Chase,
Mac and Mika.
your little man crush, and Micah Parsons.
Talk about man crushes. How's Nick Bosa and Debo? They're your man crushes, aren't they?
How's Nick Bosa and his racist girlfriend?
Well, I mean, Nick Bosa got two sacks last night, and including a crucial one on third down in overtime. So we'll get to that one.
Is a rookie, and he's on 12 sacks this season. He's had what's his stats? 57 tackles solo, 18 assisted. He's had 17 tackles for loss, a total of 115 yards, and he's had a couple of interceptions as well.
My only issue is we know how much the NFL loves giving awards to quarterbacks.
They do, which is a shame.
I mean,
look at the Heisman Trophy this week.
Just look at Justin Herbert last season.
Half a season wins the MVP or Rookie of the Year. Yeah, that's shocking.
We've been very vocal on this podcast that we disagree with that.
I think everyone's on about that.
So I think Mac Jones is probably going to win it.
The worrying thing is, though, now it looks like Heineke could be out. He took a whack on his knee.
Yeah.
But obviously, we'll talk about more of the injuries on that on Thursday because there's a fair few to a couple of very big quarterbacks, big name quarterbacks, which could have implications on playoffs in the long run. But we'll talk about that on Thursday night.
Jacksonville are not going to be there.
No.
I think we've known that for a while. It's just
well, yeah, we have.
But they are now officially eliminated, aren't they?
Yeah.
2 teams have been eliminated this weekend.
4.
4?
4 teams have been eliminated.
How have I missed? Oh, right. Fair enough.
wakey, Tom.
I even went through and bloody hell.
Is this now Urban Meyer going, I don't want to be here anymore? Because there's a lot of rumours about Urban Meyer going, there's unrest in the changing room. There's a lot of
tension between him and his staff.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, if I'm being perfectly honest, I think it's been Urban Meyer's farewell tour since he got the job.
Definitely since he had a lap dance from a teenager.
Yeah,
don't you think Trevor's just thinking, I wish I'd been a little bit more crap?
Oh, yes. I want to go back to Micah Parsons very quickly because I forgot to give a stat.
Okay.
So Micah Parsons has had 6 games, the last 6 games are at least 1 sack. The last 2 people to do that was Aaron Donald,
Joey Bosa,
and Joey Bosa. And look at that. Well, Joey Bosa's had a bit of a injury hit, but Aaron Donald is a tank. So just
going back to Jacksonville, wasn't it 4 touchdowns that Trevor threw yesterday?
4 interceptions, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Not 4 touchdowns.
4 touchdowns, they would have won the game, mate.
Yeah. 4 picks.
4 picks, and I don't think it's all him.
4 candles.
4 candles. One of them was the 2 wide receivers taking each other out, and one of the Titans. Don't know. I think it was a DB. That was quite funny. Seattle. I want to play up the fact that Russell Wilson was brilliant, the fact that Rashard Penny was brilliant, and Tyler Lockett was absolutely brilliant.
I mean, imagine having Russell Wilson in your team and having him on the bench on your fantasy football team.
If you want to play that game, Tom, imagine having the Titans defense getting 21 points on your bench.
Tom, I wouldn't talk. Tom, I've absolutely destroyed you this week by about 70 points, I think.
Do you know what? Fantasy football this season is sort of, I don't know. Last season I was dead on it. I was on it, and this season I think it's because I've been. I think again boxing. It's taken
too many concussions.
Season, I'm going to get that trophy.
Well, I'm not sure if Jack's watching, but he's destroyed me this week.
I want, I've beaten both of you twice this week, twice this year.
I beat you once. I beat you once, Ollie. Actually, I think you'll find.
Definitely beating you, because I remember beating you a couple of weeks ago, because then I had him the week later.
I'm pretty sure we split our series 1-1.
Possibly. I'll go for it. We'll go for it when we'll talk about it next week, because it's playoffs next week.
I mean, I'm not in the playoffs. I'm in the what's it?
Consolation or
I want
toilet cup.
to call it toilet bowl, but I believe it's called consolation bowl.
Bobby Wagner's currently leading the tackles for in the defense with 152 tackles this season. Jordan Brooks from Seattle is third with 135.
Who's second?
That's a lot. Forsyther Oluken from Atlanta, 142. There's a lot. That's a lot of tackles, and that shows how much that D line needs a lot of work on it.
Bobby Wagner's the last bit of the Legion of Doom, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He is a Seattle man. If Russ goes, it would be. I think Bobby Wagner would be the last of the Super Bowl people left.
I mean, the Legion of Doom, when there was who was it? Sherman, Wagner, Chancellor.
Chancellor.
I'm missing.
There's probably a couple of others in there as well, but I can't think of their names.
I mean, those three were elites.
They were absolutely elite, and Richard Sherman had a pick for you lot yesterday, didn't he?
He doesn't play for us.
Oh no, it was who was he playing for?
He's injured, isn't he?
Tampa Bay.
Yeah, he used to play for us.
I'm going to think Raiders are going to not want to play Kansas City again, are they? 98 points 89 points they've allowed in 2 games.
Yeah.
And I'd love to know what John thinks of
this. Yeah, I was about to say, is John watching?
He's been a bit quiet today, isn't he?
One hell of a beating.
Twice.
I mean, it was just a vicious, wasn't it? It was.
I mean, especially when one of your best players on the pitch was on defense for Kansas. Tyrann Mathieu was one fumble recovery, 1 interception, and 5 tackles.
The Honey Badger had a game.
He had a game and a half. I mean, it wasn't all bad for Kansas. Hunter Renfrow, 117 yards with a touchdown, so it wasn't all bad.
Third down Renfrow, you mean?
Yeah, he is. I like Hunter Renfrow. He reminds me a lot of Jules, the Secret Squirrel. Kind of run a bit more pace and go a bit deeper.
I remember the short amount of time I watched this game, the commentator said third down Renfrow is a lot more effective when it's 3rd and 5 rather than 3rd and 13.
Because you can do that little posting in or 5 in and 10 in across, and one of it is the little slants and things like that.
Little slants across the field, in the middle, behind the linebackers.
But Derek Carr's still second in the passing.
Derek Carr's underrated.
I think if they had, it was in somewhere like even Tampa or New England or possibly even, I would say New Orleans. I think if he was in New Orleans, they'll do a lot better there.
This might be a dumb question, but who's number 1?
The GOAT.
Okay.
Well, who do you think it was?
I just wasn't sure. I was blanking for a second.
Yeah, well, we'll cross Brady in a minute.
Yeah, Mahomes had a great game. The offense had a great game. The defense had a great game for Kansas City.
That defense has clicked now, and now the offense is playing. It's the sleeping giant of the AFC is waking up, aren't they? With KFC, Kansas and New England. Those two have woken up now, aren't they? And it's going to look a bit scary. I can see them being the AFC.
Ollie casually dropping in the New England Giants.
I'm dropping
Giants
in what, Ollie?
Yeah. The New England Giants of the game.
Hey, the Emperor's striking back.
That's a YouTube thumbnail.
You are?
YouTube thumbnail.
Oh, we are seeing what the signal is like in
sunny Cheltenham
right now.
So even with 9 fingers, Taysom Hill can still outplay New York Jets. Wrong New York.
Yes.
I think Taysom Hill could outplay the New Jets with his hands and his back.
Yeah, I mean, so he went for 73 yards. He rushed for 73 yards. A couple of touchdowns on that as well. I would love to say, we've seen the best of Alvin Kamara back, but it's New York Jets. It's not even Atlanta. It's not Tampa. It's New York Jets, who's going to be in the top 5 picks again for the next probably couple of years.
Well, I mean, I think we'll test that theory with whether the Rams are back tonight because they beat the Jags last week.
Yeah, I mean, so they've got Tampa. So if Alvin Kamara can go 100 yards or even 80 yards against Tampa next week, then we could say, yeah, okay, Alvin Kamara's back. Oh, well, he's vanished. Ollie doesn't want to be on the camera anymore.
I'm back.
I love the fact the NFL never put any stats up for Zach Wilson.
There's a reason for that.
It's really impossible to find stats for Zach Wilson.
So are we going to say, is the time, when we do our review show and our preview show next year, is the title of those two shows going to be Wilson is not the problem? Or are we? Because I feel like we are, obviously, it's not just the quarterbacks' fault. Obviously,
the thing is, though, New York Giants drafted really well this year.
Giants or Jets we're talking about, yeah.
Jets, sorry. They drafted really well this year. But the problem is New York, they have a very high expectation. That's with both franchises.
Yeah. I mean, I like what it's
especially with the Rangers doing well in the hockey, and obviously Manchester City USA doing really well as well.
Manchester City USA.
They lost at the weekend, didn't they?
They did.
That's typical. They can't win the big prizes, can they? Hey!
Anything out of England, they can't win. Funny that when you can't fill a stadium. Anyway, did
you see how empty that was on blooming Saturday lunchtime? That's about half full. Anyway, wrong shape ball. Yeah,
Speaking of Saturday, there's NFL on Saturday this week, isn't there?
Patriots Colts. Maybe it could be called "What Was Zach Wilson's Stats?" because they never seem to put it up on the NFL page. That's going to take some trawling around.
I feel sorry for Zach. He's not come from a top university, has he?
He needed to sit somewhere like behind Lamar, behind Russ Wilson, these scrambling quarterbacks, which he is based on.
Tom, you saw him in England. You saw him in London. He wasn't great.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't. And I was saying to a guy sat next to me, it's only a matter of time till we see one of these balls he was throwing get picked. And within, I think it was 2 plays later, we were seeing Atlanta return the ball.
How many times are we going, he's open, Ollie?
I think I said to you, Ollie, I said, if his first read is covered, he doesn't know what to do.
No. If you look at, even Trevor Lawrence is really good at going through his reads. Mac Jones is superb at going through his reads very quickly. I mean, we can't say what Trey Lance is because we haven't seen enough of him.
I mean, like
Justin Fields isn't that bad going through his reads. He's a little, but if he's like with Justin Fields, if his first read's covered, his second read covers, I've got to run. It's not like I'm going to wait. I can move the pocket, get a bit of extra space.
Yeah, but he's come from. I mean, don't forget where Lawrence, where Mac, where
Fields, all the top 3 colleges.
And let's face it, you have to be top draw to go to those colleges, and you're gonna. I mean, Trevor Lawrence has been groomed for the NHL and NFL since he burst in high school. So it's. I feel sorry for Zach because I think he was put in. He was drafted at number 2.
Situation.
I feel like he was put in a. If he played well, he was number 2 pick. He should play well. And if he doesn't,
like I said, he's
in the situation he is now. So no-win situation.
And then you go to someone who's
Trevor Lawrence, really.
Yeah. But he's still doing better than Cam Newton.
It's hard to do worse.
Yeah, so Cam Newton hasn't won in the last 12 starts in Carolina now. 12. Let that sink in for a minute. That's
getting on for a season.
Yeah. That is, 4 games away from 5. 4 or 5 games away from the season now. I could possibly see Cam Newton switching positions, doing a Tyson Hill type thing.
This is a guy that thinks he's one of the best quarterbacks, and
there's not 32 people quarterbacks better than him. Remember that.
Yeah, but I think he probably thinks there are 10 quarterbacks that are better than him.
I couldn't think of 10 quarterbacks worse than him.
Yeah, but
I saw him in New England for a year. I'm going to let him off for half the year because of COVID.
I'm talking about what Cam thinks about himself.
Exactly. Yeah, but you've got to have that arrogance. You've got to have that swagger. You've seen what he wears. He dresses like an old lady sometimes.
I feel like, remember, I know this guy won an MVP, and I know he's a very different player, but I mean, he's just making dumb decisions.
He was the player who gave almost like, look, if they can have a rushing, scrambling quarterback who can run 100, 120 yards a game, we need that kind of thing. He was the development of this league.
Yeah. If we didn't have Cam, I don't think we'd have Lamar.
Mahomes, Murray, Fields. This isn't a Jay Lance against Trey Lance. I haven't seen enough of him to know what he's like.
Well, yet. I'm just thinking his one start he ran 16 times.
Yeah, that's true. But I think that was because it was a rookie thing more than anything else.
Poor play calling.
I can see, Bryce Young, 1 MVP, 1 Heisman Trophy this year.
Is Bryce Young actually in the draft this year, though?
He'll be in the draft. I think.
Because I feel like he has another year.
He's one of those Alabama quarterbacks who plays for a year, then ends up in the NFL.
I thought he was a junior, Young.
No, I think he was a sophomore. I'll have a look in a bit. So yeah, I can't see Cam being there. Sam will probably be there because they've given him a fairly decent contract down there. Cam only had a 10-month contract anyway, so he'll be out of a job again. And he'll end up back up somewhere, whether he likes it or not. That's a different story. You kindly mentioned him a couple of minutes ago, but Lamar Jackson left the game in the second quarter with a
just putting this in there. Bryce Young is a sophomore.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure he can.
I think he can.
Because I feel like he needs to play 3 years of college to be able to go into the draft.
Juju only came into the draft at 19, 20, remember that?
Yeah, but let me check that.
You check that. Me and Tom talk about Baltimore and Cleveland. Me and Tom talk about Baltimore and Cleveland.
I can't have much anyway.
We were saying about how, I think it was me and you, Ollie, that was saying about a few weeks ago, where we're saying Baltimore have to do something in the next maybe couple of seasons, and I'm gonna say it now. Lamar Jackson will end his career without winning a Super Bowl.
There's been plenty of great quarterbacks who haven't.
Yeah, no, I know, but I think Lamar is going to be one of those.
He is a good running quarterback. He is in the MV chat. In the MV chat, he's not one of the He's not one of the pass yardage leaders yet. He's not even in the top 5.
No,
he's probably in the top. If you put it into quarterback running, he probably is the top quarterback runner this year.
Okay, so I've got an answer.
Go on then.
Bryce Young cannot declare for the 2022 NFL draft.
Cannot.
He cannot.
Ooh.
Any reason why not?
He's not old enough.
Wow.
He needs to play 3 years of college.
So he'll be there at least next year then, so he'll be in the 2023.
Yeah, he'll be in the 2023 draft with DJ Upatanglele.
Who you're sold on. So that probably means there's going to be...
The thing is, I'm not sold on him because I only watched him play one season, and he wasn't great. But America seems sold on him.
Yeah, it's going to be Pitts. Who was it? So you've got Stroud, Pickett, or probably Riddler. We're going to end up in Carolina next year. Yeah, as you were saying about Baltimore.
I just
they've got the weapons there.
Yeah, but something's not happening.
Yeah, it's. I mean, they've got the ghost of the kickers there. You know,
they'll obviously make the playoffs.
I wouldn't say obviously. The AFC is very tight.
I mean, they're still top of the division.
Yep.
Niners help them with that. But I think it really hinges on Lamar.
Although, saying that, Huntley looked good. He was 27-38, 270 yards with a touchdown. He didn't turn the ball over. He looked.
But he's not Lamar.
Good. No one's going to be Lamar. But did you see his scramble? Well, I think he changed direction about 8 times for about 15 yards.
Yes.
So he has got that in him to do it. So he is a good scrambler, and he could do it.
I mean, if we're going to talk about quarterback scrambles, let's just get to the Niners game.
Well, in a bit. Only a couple more games to go, Ollie.
Because I want to talk about a Joe Burrow scramble.
Yeah, I mean, Andrews had 11 for 115 yards with a touchdown as well.
I mean, Andrews is a stud at the moment.
Andrews is a Hall of Famer. We're very lucky. We're probably seeing the best crop of tight ends at the moment.
Kittle,
Kelsey, Andrews,
Waller,
Gronk.
Andrews, Gronk.
Yeah.
I'd even be tempted to put TJ Hawkinson in there too.
Gronk against the other day, last night, looked young Gronk again. He looks hungry, but we'll get to that in a bit.
Yeah, well,
the problem is, I could see Bengals pinching this division because you've got a banged up Lamar now. You've got a quarterback in Cleveland who is falling apart. Literally, he's held together with duct tape. He went out the game for 3 or 4 plays yesterday again. So I can see Cleveland pinching. Oh, sorry, Baltimore. Get it right in a bit. Cincinnati pinching this division. Yeah, I mean, they've got really good receiving down there in Cleveland. Peoples-Jones went for 90 yards. Landry and Hooper went for a touchdown each as well.
I really like Peoples-Jones.
I think he's.
I like Peoples-Jones. I was thinking that when I was watching the highlights today.
He's literally the one where Mayfield put it for about a mile off outside the pitch. God knows how he got his toes on. Literally, I think he must have extended his toenails just to get his feet in bounds. That was a hell of a catch.
I'm not sure if you guys have seen Baker's press conference.
Not yet, no.
But it's the first time. It's the first time I've actually seen Baker talk sense.
Yeah. What is he going on about? I haven't seen this yet.
He was just saying how they need to be better. They need to hold on to leads, and the defense carried them.
Yeah, I mean they've got Raiders, they've got Green Bay, Steelers, and Bengals. They've got a tough.
I was just sitting there thinking, this guy for once is actually talking sense.
He's right. I mean, I think he's had that drama the last few weeks. Odell gone. I think Stefanski's had a word with him and said, "Look, calm it down. Just talk football, and we'll go from there."
I mean, I'm still not a big fan of his. Is it Progressive? Whichever insurance company he's with. But
yeah, Progressive.
That's not fully his fault.
No, it's not. I mean, it's very much where you've let your personal life get involved with your work life, your football, your sporting life. Yeah, it's getting there. Shall we go on to probably one of the top 3 quarterback performances from yesterday?
Justin Herbert?
Justin Herbert was superb. The highlights I've seen: 23 from 31, 275 yards, 3 touchdowns, and that one to, I want to pronounce his name, Guyton, which he literally rolled out of the pocket for 87 yards. That's
the one I was about to talk about, because it's not like it was 87 yards with a load of yak. He literally threw the ball 87 yards.
It was a cannon. It comes. I mean, Josh Allen can throw a ball, but I think Herbert can probably outdo him. The pace it comes out of his arm is like rapid. It's like, wow, this thing's quick. I think there may be a video in there, Tom.
But yeah, that guy, that throw was insane. Like, I only saw it on a game break in the Niners game. But
yeah, it was superb. It really was a hell of a throw.
I'm assuming Scott Hansen was going crazy if either of you were watching Red Zone.
No, I actually had it on the game break during the Bills Bucks game. Okay. I've seen a video which I'm just sending it to Tom now, so hopefully I'll have that one. We have some breaking news. Jalen Ramsey and Tyler Higbee have been placed on teams' IRs.
Okay, just bear with me a sec. Oh no, I can't. I've got to be playing tonight.
Yeah.
I can't change it because everyone else has played.
Oh man.
Luckily, I've already won that week on that fantasy, but still.
Yeah, so Jalen Ramsey and Tyler Higbee placed on COVID list. We can cross that over a bit when we get there because that's massive then.
Ramsey's massive. But yeah, let's get through the other games. I want to get to the Niners. I've got some things to say.
Of course you would. There was some really good play. I mean, Herbert's a hell of a player. Palmer had a 66 yards touchdown pass as well, or reception as well. Eckler, he only had 84 yards scrimmage yards yesterday and only 1 touchdown. A bit worrying.
I mean, you say only.
Yeah, okay. When you say only, it's yeah, but considering he was doing 150, 120 yards earlier on in the season,
put it this way. Eckler got 84 yards and got a touchdown.
If you look at that way, yeah, but when you look at Eckler, the start of the season was going over 100 yards pretty much every week, was balling his arse off.
So he didn't have a great game, but they still won.
True. Very, very true.
Quite convincingly.
Detroit, Denver.
There's not really that much to say about this game, is there?
The video for that.
And here we go.
As he's trying to load it. Yeah, this was a heavy heart. I mean, obviously we're going to play this.
This was an emotional moment for...
The main thing about this game was Demaryius Thomas, really, which is...
Yes.
This was probably the classiest moment, and the head coach, or I think it was actually the offensive coach, said it was Patrick Surtain who came up with this one. He wanted to remember him like this. They got the okay from the from the Detroit Lions, who said we will not enforce the play. We will decline the penalty, and the officials knew about it. Obviously, they had to throw the flag because it's the rules. They had to. It's not FIFA. It's not the FIA who make up the rules to go along.
It's not Michael Massey who can
makes up the rules as it goes along. It was. Yeah, okay, we'll do this properly. You ready, Thomas?
I am ready. I'm going to roll the footage
because this was class.
And here we go. First snap of the overtime.
Oh, you're playing that one, not the actual.
This year, they won them all. Got him at the 40. It's Thomas at the 50. Skipper got him 3 to the 30, to the 20. Thomas to the 10.
That's the Demaryius Thomas touchdown and one of the best moments of his career. But
sorry for any Steelers fans I was watching who just clicked in as we looked at that one. Yeah, so the other one was they lined up 10 up, didn't they?
Yeah. So Sutton wasn't on the field.
Yeah, so he's in the X slot. If in the X position, I think it was in his usual.
It was the X slot, yes.
Which is where Demaryius Thomas was his usual thing. Was in the X wide out position. You know, you could see the Detroit players going, "No, we're not going to do anything. We'll stay still." You know, it was all known. They all know to do it. It's the first play of the game. well, technically second because obviously the kickoff, but it was the classiest thing I've seen on an NFL football pitch for a long, long time. It was superb.
I can't remember whether it was after a touchdown or a pick. I noticed they ran over to the 88.
It was TD
on the field. TD.
It was the first TD. Yeah, it was brilliant. It was in the first. It was in the first drive because they scored on the first drive.
Don't believe the video was sent to me.
Oh, that's a shame. That one. We'll get that ready for Sunday. I definitely did send it across to you, but we'll get it ready Thursday. So yeah, that was class. Detroit have got an issue down there. Okay, yes, they went there with 13 players on the COVID list. It's always going to hurt people, isn't it? Yeah, they're just the season
they have an issue against everybody else, but when they're against us, it's
hey, and the Steelers.
I'm not sure if you did either of you see the meme that Thursday night's game was actually the couldn't beat Detroit Bowl?
Yes, I think I put that on the group chat, didn't I? Ollie, you've been going on about this for the last, maybe 24 hours near enough. Do you want to talk about it now?
I do.
Ladies and gentlemen, please hit mute.
So, Niners Bengals. As I said earlier, there's a bit of a trend of teams blowing leads but still winning.
Yep.
So, first half, I thought the Niners were given a couple of gifts. There were 2 muffed punts, and we took 10 of our 17 points from the 2 muffed punts.
I love that phrase, muff punt. They really need to change that wording.
And the commentator was saying, when was the last time there were 2 muffed punts in a half? It was about 3 weeks ago by Trenton Cannon. But
is that before he got absolutely wiped out?
Yes. Still not heard much about his injury, but yes. And then the second half, specifically the fourth quarter, because we were still up by 14. We were up by 14 in the fourth quarter. And then Joe Burrows made an absolute miracle play to Ja'Marr Chase. I'm not sure if you guys have seen this, but he rolls to the right, past about 3 of our pass rushers, and then finds Ja'Marr Chase, who somehow did not step out of bounds at the back of the end zone.
Oh, was that literally the toe tap right in the corner, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have seen that. That was a hell of a play from him. He is a very, very good quarterback.
Yes, but I'd like to talk about Ja'Marr Chase for a minute.
Go on then.
Ja'Marr Chase made some great throws, but he also made some bad drops.
What I've noticed about Ja'Marr Chase, he takes... I'm putting that on mute because I was listening to music. He takes a few snaps to warm up or a few receptions to warm up.
Because there were 2 pretty crucial drops that I can think of that Ja'Marr Chase had in this game.
He did it a couple of weeks ago. One of them turned into reception, didn't it? Or
anyway, and then the Bengals came back, and then Jimmy Garoppolo turned into Joe Montana for about 5 minutes.
Yeah, but Kittle probably turned into a cross between Randy Moss, Jerry Rice, and all the great wide receivers in one quarter.
Have you seen that diving catch he made?
I've seen the Kittle highlights. The Kittle highlights are ridiculous.
Kittle had a great game, 151 yards, 1 TD. But Kittle made a great catch, set up Robbie Gould for the game-winning 47-yard field goal.
Dunk right.
And of course he pulls it right.
Yeah.
So we go to overtime, and I believe I was texting you during this.
You were messaging me going, another big play by Chase, another big play by Higgins.
Yes, we were giving up a lot of big plays.
Yep.
And then who steps up on a crucial 3rd down?
Mr. Kittle.
No.
Was it not Kittle? Oh, Jimmy G.
No, not even Jimmy G. On Debo. A crucial 3rd and 3 on the San Francisco 20, Nick Bosa.
Okay, you're going that way.
And he runs over his ex-teammate Isaiah Prince to hit his ex-teammate Joe Burrows, to force them to kick the field goal, to allow Jimmy G and Kittle and Samuel and Ayuk to score the touchdown to win the game.
You said to me earlier that because I said I have no idea who to pick player of the week. So I've looked through the stats. I've gone to watch a fair bit of highlight reels today. Ours this year: 8 tackles, 3 assisted, 1 sack, and 3 tackles for a loss.
And was injured for half the game.
Exactly.
And
I would say he had a bigger game than Nick Bosa. Nick Bosa might have the big play at the end.
The thing is, Nick Bosa, yes, it says 2 sacks, but Nick Bosa was everywhere in this game. If he wasn't tackling, he was getting pressure and causing other people to get tackled and sacks. Honestly,
you get these players.
I'm gonna quote the commentator. The Niners' pressure rate has been about 50% of this, and that's been Nick Bosa. Nick Bosa has single-handedly beaten the Cincinnati Bengals pass O-line.
That's probably why Al Shazier has had such a good game, because you are going to have 2 O-linemen, or an O-lineman and a running back or wide receiver or tight end on Bosa. So it gives you that extra man. You always have one player on either side, whether it's wide receivers double teamed or it's O lineman or D lineman double teamed. It's all about numbers, and it is, yeah.
I feel like Nick Bosa's always double teamed, which helps the defense. Other defense players shine.
That was a hell of a game in Tampa Bay last night. Obviously, you were watching your boys.
I was, yes.
Tampa Bay, for 3/4 of the game, I would say probably blew Buffalo out of the water. They didn't know what to do.
The thing is, for a second, I thought you were watching the Niners game on a delay, because you sent me text saying, this is going to overtime. And I'm like, yes, I know. That happened a couple of minutes ago.
Oh, no. My son was watching Kansas on the Game Pass on my laptop yesterday. And obviously, on the laptop, it's slightly delayed behind Red Zone. So he was watching it on Red Zone and then watching it on the laptop to get the thing. I was going to get him to record a little video to see what he thought of the Kansas game, but he didn't want to do it.
We have got a video of the Tampa game.
Yeah, we'll show that in a minute.
What's going on with Buffalo? Because I'm going to make a point. They are I think they're Ollie's pick to win the Super Bowl.
They were Ollie's. They're still in the playoffs.
I checked my bets that I made in August this year, and one's Micah Parsons for Defensive Rookie of the Year.
That's never.
And I've got Bills to win, because I was hot on the Bills at the start.
Everyone was on the Bills.
They've just gone a bit. I mean, they're in danger of dropping out of the playoffs altogether.
Yeah,
they've got
the next games are
behind them, and I mean, I still think the destination of the Super Bowl this year will be Cardinals.
It depends on Josh Allen now, because it looks like he's done something to his toe. But he still went for 109 yards.
I believe he's got turf toe.
Yeah, so he ran for 109 yards and he scored a couple of touchdowns with his feet. He was single-handedly dragged Buffalo back into that game in that 4th quarter.
I feel
he
like
was
people would,
superb. Absolutely superb.
I feel like if I was a Bills fan, I'd be more concerned last week than I was this week, even though they've lost one more game.
Yeah.
Because against New England, they didn't adapt. But against Tampa Bay, they adapted.
Yeah. And I think Tampa Bay took their foot off especially on defense, I think they took their foot off the gas.
I think that's credit to Sean McDermott.
That was. I mean, literally, you saw that determination in Josh Allen's eyes. I mean, his touchdown run in the first half, you saw the anger and the frustration where he launched the ball into Devin White's picture on the sideline. That was pure determination. And to top it all off, Tom Brady, game-winning pass in overtime, was his 700th career touchdown. Would you like to roll the tape, Mr. Tom?
I would.
Because that bloke is a goat.
Roll
And as
VT.
Roll VT. And as I said earlier, Gronk looked like a young Gronk as well.
I'd love to know how. Actually, we do.
Here he is on 3rd and 3 from the pocket. Connecting.
And he's out of here.
Taking it all the way for the win.
Ollie, I'm not sure if you have this stat to hand, but I'd love to know how many passing attempts there's been of Brady to Gronk.
This season?
No.
Last night?
Career.
Oh, over his career? No, but I'm going to have to get that now. I will get that for Thursday. Because I want to know that one.
Passing attempts, not completions, attempts.
Passing attempts to Gronk. Yeah, that'd be interesting. So he's now I think he might have tied for the most touchdowns against a franchise with your boy and Joe Montana. Joe Montana and Dan Marino. No, Dan Marino and yeah.
You made Dan Marino my guy.
Yeah, I got mixed up then. So I think it's Dan Marino and actually himself with 72 TDs against one franchise. He's tied the record of that one. He's now gone 700 touchdowns through postseason and regular season.
He also broke the completion record last night.
And he's now extending the record for yards per game because he went 363 yards last night.
I feel like the sort of insult to injury for Drew Brees is Drew Brees has to go on TV and talk about how good Brady is for breaking his record.
Peyton Manning's had to do exactly the same.
Yeah.
At least Tony Romo doesn't have to worry about records being broken.
Speaking of Peyton Manning, I'm so glad the Manning cast is back tonight.
Oh, do you like Manning cast, do you?
Well, it's better than listening to whoever's meant to be commentating on MNF.
That was a very crazy second quarter in Chicago last night. Oh, in Green Bay last night.
I have to admit, the only bit I've seen in this game is the doppelganger.
45 points were scored in the second quarter last night in Chicago. It was literally you score, we score, you score, we score kind of thing, and then it kind of settled down a little bit. Yeah, that doppelganger. I wish we could find that picture. That's brilliant. He looked a spit of him, just a slightly longer beard.
I was saying to my
the eyes.
I was saying to my friend who's a Packers fan, I feel like it looks like Aaron Rodgers 2 years from now, where he's let himself go.
He even had the bags under his eyes.
Yeah.
It looked really weird. You know, and they had him side by. I don't think it is in the group chat. I've seen it on.
No, they've not. It's not.
Yeah, I've seen it, and
they did side by side, didn't they?
Yeah, it was on the. It was like, that's interesting. I'll watch in minutes in 40 again, a game in 40 again, see if it's on there, and I'll put it on the web on the pages. I'm gonna say, from what I've seen from Justin Fields last night, that's probably the best I've seen Justin Fields play. You've seen him a bit more because against you guys, I've only seen him like in this game.
Well, I thought Justin Fields actually had a very good game against the Niners. I said,
it was a very good game last night.
As I said, I need to watch a game in 40 of this. I'll probably watch it tonight before the Cardinals game. But I like Justin Fields. That run he did against us was insane. But
he looked a lot more composed. He looked like
I feel like he is the answer in Chicago, but the main problem in Chicago is a certain head coach.
Yes, agreed with that one. I mean, he went 18 from 33 for 224 yards. He's with a couple of touchdowns. He rushed for 74 yards. Devontae Adams was superb. 10 for 21. The touchdown run, which literally he was breaking ankles. He had an out and in route, so out in then down. He made a couple of. I think it was a bit of a blown coverage, slightly on Chicago as well, but a couple of Chicago DBs ran into each other, which is.
I believe stats was it 121 yards, 2 touchdowns.
It was, yeah. I mean, Rodgers threw for 4 touchdowns, 341 yards again. He is having another MVP season, but he's not in the top 5 stats.
Can we just talk about how Tom's gone very quiet now? We're talking about Rodgers.
Yeah, he doesn't like Rodgers, do you, Thomas?
He's still got a poorly toe, though.
Yeah, he's broken his toe. He actually has broken his toe.
Yeah.
He is playing with a broken toe.
Poor love.
It's not like this turf toe, that bloody...
Tom's refusing. Tom will not ever compliment Rodgers on anything.
Do you know what? He is a good quarterback.
Good.
I'm going to have to sound clip that.
I think he is
later on. Sound clip it.
I think he is a elite quarterback.
Thank you.
But it's the Green Bay fans who say that he is the GOAT when he is clearly not. Brady is.
I think I've said this before. I'm going to say it again. I feel like Aaron Rodgers, on raw ability alone, is the best. However, Brady's the GOAT, and I will always. Brady's the GOAT.
Brady is the GOAT.
He trains harder, work harder. He's a better quarterback than Rodgers, but on raw arm talent alone, I think Rodgers is better.
And also,
the legs.
Annoys me about
Rodgers
what annoys me about Rodgers also is his attitude. His attitude stinks.
Oh, completely agree.
And you know what? Every time we beat him, because you know what? He doesn't always come off best against us.
Just usually.
It's even more delicious because he has this sort of look on his face when he loses. He's the worst loser going, which is understandable. You know, anyone at that sort of elite level of sport is always going to be a sore loser, isn't he? Don't like losing, but it's not just that.
I didn't realise I could do that. Next time Tom's on hand, I can mute him. That's great. As we were on about the NFC, shall we put the NFC playoff? Very funny. The NFC playoff picture. Shall we check that one up?
Yeah.
Oh, we're doing this, are we?
We're having fun and games today on the podcast. Do you want to do your if they would happen now, Thomas?
Yes, if it would happen now. If the playoffs started today, which don't forget, folks, it's not far off. 4 weeks. Well, 5 weeks.
Fancy playoffs start from tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if we start with the AFC, Patriots will get at the moment, as it stands, would get the first round bye. In the other games, we would have Bills traveling to the Titans, Colts traveling to the Chiefs, and Chargers traveling to the Ravens. Over in the NFC now, we would have the Cards in the first round bye.
I have no idea what happened there.
Washington football team going to Lambeau Fields against the Packers. We'd have 49ers traveling to Tom Brady's Buccaneers. And we would have the LA Rams traveling to the Dallas Cowboys. Again, still some great matchups in that one.
I don't want Tampa Bay.
I wouldn't want Tampa. I wouldn't want Green Bay either.
If we do make the playoffs and we go to, I've just noticed what you put. If we do make the playoffs, I will be insufferable if we lose. I just have to put that out there.
Yeah, well, now I know we can mute people. It's great. Look at your running. You've got Chicago twice, Green Bay, and you've got LA Rams. You said you could see us going 3-1 or 2-2.
Or then again,
I could see you going 1-3. Don't forget Chicago. Technically, still in
I could see us going 0-4 as well. But
I think with Minnesota is that the issue is they can beat anyone, but they can also be beaten by anyone.
Yeah, we need that first half performance for the whole game, and it's I put an interesting stat, and I know what Ollie said about the fact that it doesn't mean anything, but I think it does show our season in perfect picture clarity. If Vikes had not given up any points in the 2-minute mark of either half in every game, we would be 12-0. That's the most. It's a season of frustration for the Vikes, I think.
And if that,
I'm trying to find out what I put because I can't remember what I put.
And if that Formula One race was one lap short to Lewis Hamilton would be world champion.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's irrelevant.
No, but I think it shows that how bad we are at managing that 2-minute mark.
If Ollie wants to use the same analogy he used on the chat, he can feel free to, but...
I'm trying to find it, because I can't remember. Oh, that's like saying if I were sex, I wouldn't have had any kids.
Yeah.
That was it.
But I think it shows how bad our management of the 2-minute mark, the last 2 minutes of the half.
You've tried to throw 2 timeouts back to back at least twice.
No, yeah.
I can off the top of my head.
Yeah, Dan Campbell's done that with Detroit. Must be something about the NFC North.
Yeah. I think the top 5 in that conference is sewn up pretty much in the NFC.
If the Rams lose tonight, we're only 1 game off them.
True. Okay. Definitely divisionals are sewn up.
Yeah.
I think the divisionals are pretty much sewn up now in the AFC as well. But with Ravens losing Lamar Jackson, don't know how many weeks, that could massive blow on them, especially with the way the Bengals can play. It's hotting up, isn't it? It's how the NFL wanted to get it. So it's literally there in the last game, and all places gone.
Yeah, because the Niners have got Rams last game of the season, and I feel like that could well be the 5th or 6th seed.
Yeah, it will be. I can see that being a well.
On to tonight's game.
Tonight's game, yeah. On to tonight's game.
I think this is going to be a massive game. I think if Cardinals win, they will, in my mind, cement themselves as the number 1 team in the NFC.
Well, just
got Detroit next. They've got Detroit, Indianapolis, Dallas, and Seattle. So they haven't got the easiest of run-ins, but they haven't got a hard one in.
Just talking about LA's 5th best defense, losing Jalen Ramsey will be big for them.
Massive.
He is the best. Massive. He is the best corner in the NFL, in my opinion.
I would put him in the top 5. I wouldn't say he's the best. He's definitely in the top 5.
Who else is there then, Ollie?
Diggs, Jackson. Name 2.
Jackson, yes. You know how I feel about Diggs. But...
Yeah, you don't. You're not a fan of Diggs. Kevin Boyd, although technically he's not a corner.
Have you just named two Patriots?
No. Kevin Boyd's Tennessee.
Oh, my bad.
KB31. He's Tennessee. Possibly Justin Simmons from Denver, or Patrick Surtain is another one. He's a very, very good corner.
I think Jalen Ramsey is the best shutdown corner in the NFL.
I wish he would shut up, though. Yeah, it's with that news coming out, I can see just Cardinals just blowing the Rams out of the water again. I really can, which is a shame because it could have been a really good matchup tonight.
Higbee's a big part of Stafford's offense too.
Yeah, that's a big one. That is, so you're going against the fifth best, the third best offense against the fifth best defense, with a massive. Yes, the offense has still got Henderson. They've still got Cooper Kupp. They've still got
Henderson's not playing. He's on the COVID list, I think.
Oh, bloody hell. There's still a lot of weapons. I mean, they've still got Sony Rossell. He's rushed a lot of yards. He went for 200 yards last week, nearly.
They've got Cooper. I mean, they've got Cooper Kupp. They've got Odell Beckham. They've got Van Jefferson.
They're right down there. They're right for like I said, it is on the. I mean, Cooper Kupp's leading the league with yardage. He's 13, just shy of 1,400 yards now. He'll go 1,400 yards tonight. Could even see him go 2,000 yards this season.
And I mean, his dad's mates won't even let him draft Cooper Kupp next year as a courtesy. I'm not sure if you guys saw that tweet the other week.
No.
So it was. I've just spoken with Cooper Kupp's dad, and he's told me that next year in fantasy, his league won't let him draft his son as a courtesy.
So what are we going for result wise, score wise?
With the news noise. Oh god, Mr. Hope.
Arizona by a score, but it's a high scoring game.
Yeah, I could see it's a bit like Kansas Rams a few years ago. That near on 100-point game. I could see it being well into the 80s.
But I could also see it being a very low scoring game, with both defenses cancelling each other out.
Last time they played, Arizona put nearly 40 points on LA, and LA still put 20 plus back on them.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be, with that news that's coming today, I think Arizona's going to win. I think they could win by 10.
Okay. I'm going to go for Cards by... I'm going to say Cards by 3.
Oh, you think he's going to... What do you reckon? Last kick of the game type thing?
Yeah.
Walk-off field goal.
We do love walk-off scores.
We do. It's happened a lot this season.
Yes, Robbie goal.
Normally it's you lot. Against you, mainly.
I know.
We're back again on Thursday, aren't we, gentlemen?
Yes.
With more fun and games. And I promise this time we won't play changing our names halfway through the video.
Yes, we were very professional tonight.
Yeah.
We will be paying tribute to Demaryius Thomas properly.
We will do.
Ollie's going to have that stat for me.
Yes, I will have that Gronk stat. You'll have to message me to remind me.
And are we going to have the caption contest return this week?
I will try and put it back. Yes, you're more than welcome to take it on if you like, Mr. Hope.
You'll have to remind me, but I can try.
Yes, most definitely. There is going to be 5 predictions this week.
What are we doing? The Saturday and Sunday games?
We will do Saturday game. They are all playoff games bar one. One is to decide who's going to be number 2 pick, I think.
Hold on, I'm just having a look at the games. Oh, yeah, okay.
Can I just... While on predictions, I was the only one who got Bucks and Falcons out of the 3 of us. I know there's a couple other ones. I know. Kelly went for Bucks and Falcons as well.
What did I put?
I promise I didn't tell her to go for them ones.
I can remember I definitely put Bills, and I probably put Panthers too.
Yeah, you two both went Bills and Panthers. Tom, you changed
your mind. I asked you if you wanted a cookie.
Yes.
On the
chat, and I said no. I've had a beer.
On the chat, and you went, no, you want a beer. But yeah, it's been a lovely spending my Monday with you, gentlemen.
As always, boys and girls.
And it's just one last thing to say.
Stay safe, all.